Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the entire WrestleMania results. Um Obviously you already know my thoughts on the main events, results, um wrong decision. Could get into more of that, I guess, when I get there, but we already talked about it in the rant video, how dumb it was, but um, I'm gonna talk about the entire results and everything that happened. Night 2 was clearly better than night 1. I mean, anybody who thinks otherwise needs to have their eyes examined, I think, at this point. Night 2 was clearly better than night 1. Was it one of the best WrestleManias? No. But overall, you had some good quality matches here and there, but for the most part, it was eh. Night 2 was better overall again, but I mean, it wasn't that good of a show. Night 2 was okay, but again, not overall the best. The main event, really, even though the wrong winner clearly won, the main event really did save this Mania, in my opinion. Because I think 10 years down the line, this is the only match people are going to remember. It's going to be a case like WrestleMania 27, right? WrestleMania 27 is remembered really for two matches. It's remembered for Undertaker and Triple H and CM Punk and Randy Orton, and that's it. You can't really remember anything else. John Cena and The Miz was the worst main event of all time. One of the worst main events of all time. So you don't really remember anything in terms of the matches. You know. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen with this WrestleMania is people are only going to remember Punk and Roman years down the line. Because, maybe depending on how good Obafemi's career turns out, maybe they'll remember his 5-minute match with Brock. But, in terms of classic match qualities, there's nothing really to remember about this show 10 years down the line. So anyways, for the opening match there, we had LA Knight, the Usos taking on the Vision and ISO Speed. It was an okay match for what it was. But honestly, LA Knight is not being utilized correctly. I mean, like, come the fuck on. A throwaway 3-way tag match. They had to get a social media influencer involved so LA Knight could be in the match there. It was ridiculous in itself. LA Knight did get the pinfall, which was the right move. He won after Speed, after, LA Knight got out of like Speed's move, or no, Speed, he was getting out of the move or whatever. LA Knight pushed him literally into Logan Paul, and because of that, LA Knight capitalized on Austin Theory getting mad at Speed and gave him the blood force trauma and won the match there. Then after that, the Vision betrayed ISO Speed, and that led to then all of a sudden the good guys trying to help him, and then he got the damn turnbuckle move on him or whatever there. He got the turnbuckle move on him or whatever there, and that was how the match ended, or how they ended the whole thing. Uh, Match was good, 2.5-star match. And based on everything that happened at Mania, I don't see LA Knight getting once again a world title shot, because it's clear that they are pushing guys that, it's clear that, we're getting that a little later, but it's clear they're going to be pushing Oba Femi, which I don't dislike Oba Femi, but I do dislike the idea that he is going to get pushed before LA Knight, who has been massively over for over 4 years, and still is not being positioned the same way Oba Femi is being pushed within 4 months. So yeah, fucking stupid. Then next we have Jacob Fatu going up against Drew McIntyre. An unsanctioned match. Everyone knows my opinion on the unsanctioned stipulation. It's stupid. It should just been called Falls Count Anywhere, or freaking a hardcore match, or an Extreme Rules match. Like, calling it unsanctioned doesn't make any sense, because if it wasn't unsanctioned, then obviously WWE wouldn't be having the match on WrestleMania, right? Kind of logical, kind of illogical logic by WWE there. It was a back and forth match. A lot of brutality they were doing with each other to kind of keep that whole thing consistent. In the end, we see Jacob Fatu win the match by doing like his finishing move off the turnbuckle on the table. And he won the match. I disagree with the winner here. I think Drew should have won, especially since Drew is just coming off of a WWE championship run, even though it wasn't that long. I think, Drew is one of the top tier contenders, so I don't see why you would have Jacob Fatu win here. Unless you're planning on Jacob Fatu winning the title anytime soon, which I don't think they're going to. I don't see why he should have won here. So yeah. That was that match. Oh boy. So then WrestleMania, well, you get what I'm saying. WrestleMania 42 starts up because, well, I mean, technically it already started, but you know what I mean. They did the ESPN preview thing or whatever. I mean, that was the whole thing with the preview there. They were doing an hour or whatever on ESPN2. So so that was what they did. An ESPN2 for free, and then they went to their ESPN app or whatever. The opening, well, not the opening match, the the first match on the freaking ESPN app, I guess. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if you consider those kickoffs, the first two matches, kickoff matches or actually WrestleMania matches just on the ESPN channel. I just don't know how to count this shit anymore, but whatever. Um, so the third match of the night, you have the Fatal 4-Way WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. You have the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre match was about I would say probably a three or no two 3 stars. Yeah, we'll give it 3 stars. It was a solid match, so we'll give it that. But yeah, the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax, Last Legends, Charlotte Flair, you got Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley and Kyria. And then we had originally Brie Bella and Nikki Bella as the fourth team. However, Nikki Bella was not medically cleared, so Paige made her return and took her place in the match. To my understanding, Paige was originally just supposed to return on Raw, after Mania, but because Nikki legitimately had a real injury, this was not some kayfabe injury like Bayley had last time or last year. This was a legitimate injury, so because of that, they decided instead of her coming on the Raw after WrestleMania that they decided for her to just return and team with Brie Bella. No problem with this. I just kind of wish it wasn't spoiled on social media a couple days beforehand. And also, I really wish that Paige, I really wish they would have mentioned more about the fact that, because the Paige was injured in WWE. She had a career injury that forced her to retire, right, in WWE. Eventually, she leaves WWE because they would never medically clear her. And she goes to AEW, as we all know, under a real name. And, she has some pretty good matches, but then they keep her off TV for a while. We never see her again. Her contract ends, and now she's back in WWE. I wish WWE would have kind of pointed this out, that, she was, injured, and because of that, she had to leave to kind of heal and, go elsewhere to try and rekindle her skills. I wish they could have, kind of explained that more, because they really didn't explain that at all. And that she's just, returning, and now she can wrestle again. Match was whatever. I didn't really care for it. The only thing that pissed me off about this match, because when Paige returned, I was pretty sure their team was going to win, even though I didn't predict them to win originally. But the finish of Alexa Bliss eating the pin irks me. It once again shows the disrespect of Alexa Bliss, who has not been a women's champion since 2018 or since 2018, which still pisses me off. So yeah, I'm pissed about that. In terms of the match, they won. It was simple as what it was. I'm going to give this match 1.5 stars. Like I said, I didn't really care for it that much, but it was what it was. So then the next match was Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, the Intercontinental Champion. Now, I did predict that Becky Lynch was going to win this match because the only way you can continue the storyline is if Becky Lynch wins here, because they could set up a match at Backlash or else down the road. Personally, I think Becky Lynch should just move on from the Intercontinental title because, I mean, she's above the Intercontinental title. She doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship. She should be going for the Women's World title or the Women's WWE, or the WWE Women's World title. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she should be going for. She's above that, so I don't understand why they're doing this whole Intercontinental thing or whatever. But anyways, Becky Lynch wins by cheating, I guess. She used the exposed turnbuckle, did a distract with the referee, and she finishes off with the slam, the manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Match over. I didn't like the finish because the psychology was off. Like, I mean, the referee literally was sandwiched and didn't go to the ground. Like, she didn't really sell it at all. Referees are supposed to get knocked out very easily, and she did not. So I didn't like that. Match overall, in my opinion, it was a solid 3-star, with the exception of the shenanigans that was going on. It is what it is. Again, they had to do all the little shenanigan stuff. So it is what it is. All right. So the next match, and I was actually surprised by this, that this was the third last match, but we had Gunther versus Seth Rollins. And back and forth. A match this was, especially considering the build for this was just kind of thrown out of nowhere as a last second add-on. It looked like Seth was going to get the upper hand, but we did see the return of Braun Breaker, which I did predict, by the way, that I thought they were going to save him for that, even if he did get medically cleared. I thought that was what they were going to do. They were not going to rush him back, and that that would give him a chance to get medically cleared right before WrestleMania and not do any physicality until WrestleMania. And that's what they did. He speared him, and then Gunther was able to capitalize and do his submission hold, and he passed out, and that's how he won. And then after that, Braun Breaker decided to spear him again, to adding insult measures, and that's how they ended that one. Yeah. That match, give that 3.5 for what it was, or I give that, I give it a 3.5. It was an okay match, little above average for what it was, but again, the kooky finishes, it is what it is. I guess in a sense, this adds dispense for the division. It gives them purpose now that Braun Breaker's back, because then they can now feud at Backlash. Then you have Gunther, who can move on to whatever he's going to do now, because we'll get to that later. But he has now a favor from Paul Heyman. Anyways, the second last match, the final women's match of the night one, was Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vicaria for the WWE, for the Women's World Championship. So this was an okay match. So again, there was a lot of foolery going on. But the right winner won. Liv Morgan won with just under 7 minutes. It was a 2-star match for what it was. There was nothing special about this match. The only thing that I'm going to remember about this match is that fucking entrance. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That entrance was fucking amazing. The Liv Morgan entrance, fucking fine, bro. Fine entrance that was. Not gonna lie about it, guys. That was like the fucking best entrance I've seen ever in a long time for the women entrances. Incorporating the music video and all that stuff that she recently just released, and do that for her actual entrance was friggin' amazing. Match ended with Liv Morgan doing her finishing move again, the Riptide, and then obviously there was the interference foolery again, but she's a heel. What can you expect? We do see Dominic Mysterio coming out, celebrating with her with the title. All right. So the main event of night one's match for the WWE Championship. So, where do we fucking start with this damn match? Okay. So, Randy Orton comes out. He does, his entrance. Cody Rhodes does his entrance. They were doing like a whole memory lane thing, conveniently leaving out dashing Cody Rhodes. But, they put all the little different versions that he was. Okay entrance for what it was. But beginning, they wasted like 10 minutes of the foolery, before the match where Orton attacks him. You have Pat McAfee doing some dumb shit. He eventually gets knocked out. He eventually gets caught by Cody, attacks him, and then he allows Jelly Roll to basically take him out on the announce table or whatever. And then we don't see Jelly Roll again, by the way, after that. So then Pat McAfee is out. He's carried away on a stretcher. And then we get finally the match between Orton and Cody. It's back and forth. They're stealing people's, there's spots where they've stolen each other's finishing move once. They're kicking out of their finishers. It was okay for a while there, but then the foolery started. We have Pat McAfee magically coming down as a referee. Again, might I add you, it was never specified that Pat McAfee was a special enforcer in this match. Okay, a special enforcer can enforce himself as a referee if the assigned referee is knocked out. Pat McAfee was not assigned as a special enforcer, so he had no authority to come out of the ring and be the referee. Okay? If anything, Randy should have gotten the pinfall, and what should have happened is they should have basically reversed the decision and said that the match cannot end this way because Pat McAfee is not an assigned referee or a special enforcer. Because he isn't. He has no power as a general manager to insert himself as a referee either. So psychology, it doesn't make sense. He gets in the ring to basically help Randy after Randy got an RKO on the pin, but he had just RKO'd his referee. His assigned referee, so that's why Pat McAfee comes out to try and help. It's 1-2, kicks out, and then Randy gets so pissed off that he decides to RKO Pat McAfee, and then right after that, instantly Cody gets up and does the Crossroad 1-2-3 match over. Then after that, we have the foolery where then Orton punches Cody, takes him down, and then he's holding up the belt that he didn't win. and then he decides to punt Cody Rhodes. Supposedly, Cody Rhodes suffered an eye injury from this. I don't know if this is real or kayfabe, because it did look pretty intense. But I'm gotta assume it's kayfabe because I mean, like, I'm sure the spot was planned. So just don't know exactly right now. In terms of a match, especially since it's got the most time out of all the matches for night one, nothing good about it, man. 2-star match. It was nothing. It was, honestly, I'm probably being more grateful with it than other people are clowning on this match because of how stupid it was. That's how it ends. Again, lame one. Lame night one. Nope, sorry. All right, there we go. So then next, we have night 2, which again is the better one in my opinion. It's still the wrong results. So the first match, Obafemi took on Brock Lesnar. Obafemi won in just under 5 minutes. He did a choke slam and then he did his little power bomb move, and that was it. Then after that, Brock Lesnar took off his gloves and shoes, and he's retiring. That's a sign of retirement in wrestling. So I guess this is it for Brock. A lot of people thought he was ending in SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota, his hometown, but that didn't happen, I guess, or at least so we think, because a lot of people are already theorizing while Brock is retired. Storyline wise, Gunther is owed a favor by Paul Heyman, and that favor, I think, is going to be that Gunther wants to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and because of that, Brock is going to be forced to come out of retirement. Again, could be totally wrong about that, but I think, because what else can Gunther ask for a favor exactly? In terms of the match, nothing special about it. 1.75. The Intercontinental Championship match was amazing. It was Penta defending the Intercontinental title against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD Madonna, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. I didn't like that some of these people didn't really get entrances, but it's whatever. 6-pack ladder match. It went back and forth. A lot of spots, a lot of high-flying spots. A Mexican Destroyer on the ladder. Penta did. And I think that's really where it closed out too, where he knocked out the last guy and then he got the belt right before that. But yeah, a lot of high-flying action in that match. That was probably one of the better matches of the night. I'd give that 3.5. Easily. Penta retains. Next we had Trick Williams taking on Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. Pretty solid match. Trick Williams is a good wrestler, and hopefully he goes somewhere with it. I mean, Sami Zayn literally just had it for a couple weeks just so he could put him over. Kind of dumb. They did show signs of a double turn because Seth Rollins was the heel in this, despite despite the fact that Trick Williams Trick Williams was the heel in there. We did have Trick Williams go over. They did have him go over. It was a solid 2.5-star match. And Trick Williams was your new United States champion. The Demon, Finn Balor, going up against Dominic Mysterio, and it was later changed to a street fight. The Demon looked really well. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen the Demon, but they had a very good match. Match ended with the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Demon won. It was a solid 3-quarter match, in my opinion. Next, we had the Rhea Ripley taking on Jade Cargill, and it was for the WWE Women's Championship. I will say this, as I wasn't really expecting that much from Jade, because she's still very green in the ring. She looked pretty well against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley really did a really good job with the match. There was, they had some interferences coming in for Jade, but at the end of the day, Rhea won by countering and putting herself in position with her finishing move and won 1, 2, 3. In terms of the match quality, 2-star match. We had a pointless segment with Danhausen and John Cena and the fake attendance record. 50,000 for this era is not good, considering that WWE literally had multiple venue WrestleManias since the stadium deal era of WrestleMania, that literally gave them way more than that. Though night 2 did better than night 1, which is good for Punk. But yeah, after that whole segment was done, they went to the main event. We seen some, collaborational video packages of Roman and Punk. Then after that, Roman came out to his music, which was whatever. CM Punk did a music video like he did with This Fire Burns, but it was his Ring of Honor theme music this time. I couldn't really tell when I was watching it live whether this was him actually coming out to it or if it was actually Gorilla. And at first I realized that after a while when he was walking, I realized, oh, he's just going to do this for Gorilla. And then he came out. There was no music playing after that. By the way, the visual, too, was very great, on the stadium and stuff like that, on top of the stadium, editing that all together. They released a video of it, too, if you want to check out the behind the scenes of that whole filming. But then comes out really to no music after that, and he kind of does it's clobbering time, and then after that, they do the, his regular music. Cult of Personality comes out. It's a beautiful entrance. Acknowledges some WWE execs or employees that are no longer with us. So he was representing. So this match got the longest amount of time. And again, that's not even counting entrances. The match was clocked in at about 33 minutes. And again, that's not counting entrances. Okay, so that's just the match itself. So you're looking at like close to an hour, okay, of time that these guys got with entrances and match time. It was back and forth for a while. Roman kind of got the upper hand for a while with putting his leg there and doing like a bunch of Superman punches. However, and this is what pisses me off, is that apparently DQs no longer apply if it's the main event of WrestleMania. Because Roman literally hit Punk with steel steps. And I want to hear this bullshit argument, though, well, it's WrestleMania, motherfucker. If this was a sporting event and you got called for a penalty with no timeouts left and you let that offense get on the 25-yard line so they can get a field goal to win the game, guess what? It's the same difference. Roman had no business doing that in front of the referee and getting himself disqualified. Should have gotten himself disqualified. He should have been disqualified for that spot. Punk gets it together. There was a GTS in there. They both stole each other's finishing move once. Punk eventually did an elbow off the turnbuckle. But the thing that did it was that Punk put him into a GTS when he had control, and then they did the Dean Ambrose spot from AEW where, you know, he comes back right on him for him to do another potential GTS. However, Punk literally staggered and fell, and because of that, Roman was able to capitalize with a spear, and then after that did a super spear, and that was the end of the match. And I was pissed when they pinned that 3, because I was praying for Punk to kick out, and when he didn't, I fucking went ape shit. I was pissed, man. I was. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I did the rant already. I was pissed. By the way, and I don't know if I will upload it, but I did actually make a reaction to it. Yep, I did react. I reacted. I had the whole match recorded. Well, not. I don't mean the match was recorded. I had my reaction, like my face, the whole match. Yep. I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day, but I did record it. I'm not going to lie about that. I did record it because this was the main event. And this is CM Punk's Night 2 main event. And I, you know, on the off chance he won, I wanted to document the moment. So that was why I recorded it. I recorded myself reacting to the live footage. Obviously, I'm not showing any of the footage. It's just showing me, just to clarify. But you'll hear the audio in the background. I am also kind of worried about that, too, because of the copyrighted audio issue that WWE will have on me if I upload it. But yeah, I do have that. I do have it up. Or I don't have it up. I have it. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it now. Yeah, so Punk lost, and I'm still apeshit about it. I'm pissed. I ranted about it. It was a terrible decision. CM Punk is a full-time wrestler. Roman's barely there. Supposedly, he's claiming he's going to be there now, but who cares? Punk was the man. He carried that brand for 6 months. And now, I don't even give a shit about Raw now. Because if Punk's not going to be there, I mean, there's nothing to really care about. I mean, unless LA Knight is going to be elevated, which we know he's not going to be once again. So probably going to be watching SmackDown again. Not that I don't watch SmackDown, but I don't watch it as much. You know, I was watching Raw more regularly. Like Raw, I was watching regularly because of the interest that it had because Punk was world champion. The whole show was so much better. It was fluent. But now I might have to go back to SmackDown and watch that more. And obviously there's AEW too that I can watch. But, you know, they just recently had Darby beat MJF, so don't get what they're doing here now when you have your best guy losing like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Like I maybe just even take a break from it for a little bit because I just think the show's gonna suck again. I honestly think the show's gonna suck now. Like without Punk there. Like if Punk's gonna not be on TV for a while or whatever, like now people are trying to say that he's taking time off or whatever. If Punk's gonna be gone for a while, like I just don't see the interest in Raw unless LA Knight is doing shit. Because I don't want to be fucking seeing Roman Reigns not be there and whatever. Fucking, he claims he's gonna be there, but honestly, I don't give a fuck shit because I think Roman's overrated. Honestly, but in terms of the match, um, this was the best match of the night. It was the most hyped match going in. It was the most hyped match going in. It was the most built match going in. This match was announced literally the moment, uh, like what, a couple weeks after the Rumble when Roman won it. Um, so like the build was there, everything was there going in, and it delivered. It delivered. It was um, in my opinion, and I don't know what little little crappy Dave Melcher is going to give it, but I'm gonna give it 5 stars. It was a 5 star match, no question about it. Again, the only issue really of this match was how they ended it and the disqualification spot because Roman should have never hit Punk with the steel steps in front of the referee. People will point out that Punk hit Roman with a low blow, but the referee was not paying attention. Like he was not looking at Punk when he did it. So Punk technically didn't break any rules. He just outsmarted the referee. Roman, on the other hand, he didn't do any of that. He didn't distract the referee, didn't knock the referee out, or the referee didn't get knocked out. He just decided to hit him with the steel steps because he could. And he didn't get DQ'd for that, and that's fucking bullshit. It was a 5 star match because Punk made it a 5 star match. It was definitely Roman's best match, I'll tell you that right now. It was by far Roman's best match. Roman has never really had a good match. Definitely never had a 5 star match, that's for sure. He's had a lot of duds. Well, I guess it's the Cody 40 match. The Cody 40 match you could say was a 5 star match. You could say that was a 5 star match or darn or close to it. I don't know if I'd say it was a 5 or if it was close to a 5. The Cody Roman 40 match was more of, the cinema, trying to do the end game type thing. Obviously all the wrestlers coming down. And 39 had a similar thing to it as well. Just not the legends. So, that was the problem with that. So I wouldn't have put that as a. I wouldn't put Cody or the Cody Roman matches as 5 star matches. I would make them very close, but there was a lot of foolery going on with those matches. I would say this match was Roman's best match, even though I think Roman's overrated as fuck and shouldn't be world champion. I think they had a 5 star match primarily because of Punk. And Punk proved once and for all that he's a main eventer. Like, he is a WrestleMania main eventer, not just by show, but actually a main eventer, and he should have been a main eventer all along. He proved it. I hope this is not his last WrestleMania main event. I hope that he gets to do another one. Obviously the Cody match could happen at some point, but I think I really hope this isn't his last match. That's all I can say. And I really hope it's not his last world title run either. World title or WWE championship title run. I really hope that we get to a point where they give him the belt again. I don't see it happening this year, but I really hope it does happen again. This was a 5-star match. Despite it being the wrong winner, because Roman had no business winning this match. He's had multiple WrestleMania moments of victory. He did not need to win here, as I have already alluded to. But in terms of night one, it was probably a 4.5 out of 10. WrestleMania 42 night 2. That was probably more of a 6.5. Punk and Roman's main event really saved it from being an Mania night 2. But also, I give that also because of the ladder match. The ladder match was also a really good match. But yeah, I'm pissed and I'm really wondering what they're going to do. Make sure to comment, rate, subscribe, and it's a sucky day for us CM Punk fans, guys. All I can say is, just keep trucking, man. Punk's the guy. Punk proved it, Punk proved definitively he's a main eventer. And hopefully he gets more WrestleMania main events. Hopefully he gets more title runs. But coming out of this, but I think, the whole ending of him not being able to win because he ran out of gas, I think it really bugs me. It just really bugs me, to kind of tease that and not give him the win. That just really irks me the wrong way. And I've already talked about it on the rant video earlier. But it's just a bad night. Just a bad night, guys. I really wish we could have had the celebration. I really wish we could have had the celebration, man. That's it. I'm the S Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace, everybody.